378 Teotihuacan General Siyaj K'ak conquers the important Mayan city Tikal and deposes its ruler. In 1129, formal approval of the Order of Templars at the Council of Troyes. In 1343, Arnošt of Pardubice becomes the first Archbishop of Prague and the last Bishop of Prague. In 1501, Martin Luther enters the University of Erfurt, age 17. Treaty of Madrid. 1526, Charles V and Francis I sign the Treaty of Madrid, forcing Francis to renounce his claims to Burgundy, Italy, and Flanders. In 1601, church authorities in Rome burn Hebrew books. 1639, First Connecticut Constitution, fundamental orders adopted in Hartford, published by Rodger Ludlow. In 1641, Dutch East India Company conquers the city of Malacca, killing about 7,000 people. In 1659, Battle of the Lines of Elvas, Portuguese forces defeat Spanish forces during the Portuguese Restoration War. In 1665, Portuguese trading port of Bombay is officially transferred to English control as part of the dowry of Portuguese Princess Catherine of Braganza. In 1690, the musical instrument, the clarinet, is invented in Nuremberg, Germany. In 1699, Massachusetts holds a day of fasting for wrongly persecuted witches. In 1717, German mob leader and thief Jarco sentenced to death in Amsterdam. In 1724, Spanish King Philip V abdicates the throne in favor of his 17-year-old son Louis I. He returns to rule in September after Louis dies of smallpox. In 1739, Britain and Spain sign Second Convention of Pardo, seeks to establish boundary between Georgia and Florida. In 1761, Third Battle of Panipat, in one of the largest battles of the 18th century, the mostly Muslim Afghan Durrani Empire defeats the mostly Hindu Maratha Empire in northern India. An estimated 60,000 to 70,000 people are killed in the fighting, and about 40,000 Maratha prisoners are massacred afterward. In 1784, U.S. Congress of the Confederation ratifies the Treaty of Paris, signed on September 3, 1783, ending the American Revolutionary War, and forwards it to the British government. Mozart's Dissonance Quartet. 1785, Wolfgang Mozart completes his String Quartet No. 19 in C Dissonance Quartet, the last of 6 quartets set dedicated to Joseph Haydn op. 10-6, K. 465. In 1794, Dr. Jesse Bennett performs the first successful cesarean section in the United States on his wife, Elizabeth, delivering a baby girl at their home in Edom, Virginia. Whitney S. Muskets. 1799, American inventor Eli Whitney receives government contract for 10,000 muskets. In 1799, King of Naples flees before advancing French armies. In 1813, Gideon Hawley becomes the first state school superintendent in the United States, New York. In 1814, Treaty of Kiel, King Frederick VI of Denmark cedes the Kingdom of Norway to King Charles Roman XIII of Sweden. In 1822, Greek War of Independence, Acrocorinth is captured by Theodoros Kolokotronis and Demetrius Ypsilanti. Assassination attempt on Napoleon Roman III. 1858, French Emperor Napoleon Roman III escapes attempt on his life by Felice Orsini, an Italian patriot, who was later executed. In 1863, battle between gunboats at Bayou Teche, Louisiana. In 1864, skirmish at Cosby Creek, Tennessee. General Robert B. Vance captured. In 1868, North Carolina Constitutional Convention meets in Raleigh. In 1868, South Carolina Constitutional Convention meets with a black majority. In 1873, prominent African-American Pinckney Benton Stuart Pinchback elected to U.S. Senate, though never seated due the state elections controversy. In 1874, I.D. Shad elected Speaker of Lower House of Mississippi Legislature. In 1878, U.S. Supreme Court rules racial segregation on trains unconstitutional. 1. British heir to the throne passes away. 1892, British Prince Albert Victor, oldest son of the Prince of Wales, later Edward Roman VII, dies during a pandemic. His brother eventually becomes George V. In 1897, Cerro Aconcagua mountain in Argentina, 6,960 m, 22,834 ft. is first climbed by a European expedition led by British mountaineer Edward Fitzgerald. In 1898, Australian cricketer Joe Dowling hits the first six in Test cricket out of the ground. Tosca 1900 Giacomo Puccini's opera Tosca, with a libretto by Luigi Allegri and Giuseppe Coser, premieres at Teatro Costanza in Rome, Italy. In 1907, an earthquake in Kingston, Jamaica, kills more than 1,000. In 1908, Roger Hartigan scores century on Test debut v England in Adelaide 116. Amundsen Ross Ice Shelf 1911 Roald Amundsen's South Pole expedition lands on the Ross Ice Shelf. Gandhi-Smuts Agreement 1914. The Gandhi-Smuts Agreement is reached between General Jan Smuts and Indian civil rights leader M.K. Gandhi regarding voluntary registration, poll tax, recognition of Indian marriages and other matters in South Africa. In 1916, Dutch Zuiderzee cracks. In 1918, Finland and USSR adopt new-style Gregorian calendar. In 1919, John McGraw, Charles A. Stoneham, and Francis Xavier McQuad by NY Giants. In 1927, Toronto Maple Leafs first hat-trick Hat Davey NY Rangers. In 1929, Afghan King Amanullah forced to resign. 1932, first totalisator to record racetrack bets in US is installed. Harley Park Racetrack in Harley, Florida. Jockey Arcaro wins first race. 1932, Racing Hall of Fame jockey Eddie Arcaro wins his first race at Aguirre Caliente Racetrack in Tijuana, Mexico, aged 16 years. In 1935, Iraq Mediterranean oil pipeline goes into use. In 1938, National Society for Legalization of Euthanasia forms NY. In 1939, all commercial ferry services between San Francisco and East Bay end. In 1939, Norway claims Queen Maud Land in Antarctica. In 1940, 2 Japanese troops land at Oil Centre Balikpapan in Borneo. In 1943, Montreal Canadiens left-wing Alex Smart becomes the first NHL rookie to score a hat-trick in his first NHL game, a 5-1 win at home over the Chicago Blackhawks. In 1943, World War II, Casablanca Conference begins between Winston Churchill, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and other Allied representatives.